Hello, relatives. Welcome to this week's Schlagbite, this great Father's Day weekend. Just home from a fishing trip with my sons and grandsons, and the remnant of beard still growing. This is Schlagbite for the week of June 22nd, 2009, entitled Ceremony, Not Cigarettes. The United States Senate has made history. A couple of weeks ago, senators recognized that smoking can kill you, and overwhelmingly voted to give federal regulators new power to limit nicotine in cigarettes. Nearly 500,000 people die from smoking at a cost of about $100 billion every year. Now I want to ask you, do you think that this new legislation means that people are going to stop smoking? Of course they're not going to stop smoking. It's only going to change the way we deliver the addiction, and it's already begun. Say hello to the new tobacco-free nicotine delivery system, the electronic or e-cigarette. The e-cigarette is the newest online marketing sensation. There are hundreds of thousands of people flocking to the internet to buy them. The e-cigarette looks just like a real cigarette, except it's battery operated. You can buy a starter kit for $100 to $150, which includes the cigarette and replaceable cartridges that contain nicotine in varying strengths. Flavoring, it can be tobacco flavored, menthol, or cherry, and it contains propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is used to create artificial smoke or fog in theatrical productions. It's also a food moisturizer, an industrial solvent, and antifreeze. When the user inhales on the e-cigarette, a sensor heats up the vaporizing chamber, which produces the smoke and delivers the nicotine. Is inhaling propylene glycol healthy for you? The FDA says it's generally recognized as safe as an additive to foods, but they have no idea about whether it's safe to inhale. The marketers are selling the idea that it's a healthier alternative to smoking cigarettes. They say the e-cigarette delivers nothing more than nicotine and water vapor, and there are no carcinogens. But will inhaling propylene glycol lead to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease? Or will high doses of nicotine in your body have any long-term genetic effects? The truth is, nobody knows. This new legislation is going to legitimize a whole new industry that delivers nicotine without tobacco. This is the scenario. Pharmaceutical companies will finance massive advertising to encourage television viewers to see their doctors because they may be experiencing depression, anxiety, social withdrawal, irritability, maybe even murderous rage. The ad will tell you to ask your doctor if drug X is right for you. Of course, the side effects may include dependency, lung disease, genetic abnormalities, autoimmune diseases, depression, suicide in children, and should not be taken during pregnancy. The best way to treat an addiction is to find a way to turn whatever you're addicted to into a teaching. Whatever it is that's stringing you out has something to teach you, but once you've learned the lesson, you have to move on. If you can't feel good without depending on a drug, then it's doing you. You are not doing it. We have to come to addictive substances as if they're sacraments. If you can't use them sacramentally, don't use them at all. The Jews used wine as a sacrament, but they were not alcoholics. Native Americans used tobacco in the same sacramental way. A sacred plant, smoked together in a circle in a sacred pipe. As part of the ceremony, a blessing is given. Thank you for the gift of sharing our life breath as we come together in this sacred circle with one heart, with one tongue, with one breath. And I say this for all my relations. The pipe gets passed around the circle, everyone gets several puffs, and then it gets passed on. And it only comes around once. That's the use of tobacco as a sacrament. A sacrament requires ceremony, the creation of a special time and place with a ritual of meaning. When you can't just knock out a cigarette from a pack and do it 20, 30, 40 times a day, then you no longer appreciate its holiness. It's an addiction. I say no to e-cigarettes because they feed nicotine addiction. If you can't come to smoking as a ceremony, stop doing it. Recognize the teaching that there are some things before which you stand powerless. And once you recognize, then let it go. Have a great week. This wonderful Father's Day week, remember those that you're connected to. For my European listeners and readers, I will be in Germany the last week in August. Check my website at healingdoc.com. And have a wonderful week. Remember, we're all connected to something other than ourselves which sustains us, and especially in these hard times. I say this for all my relations. Mitakuye.